This video is going to talk all about scientific notation, which by 10th grade you have done a lot of, but it's very important that we review because it is a way to write really, really big numbers, really, really small numbers, or regular numbers um, as a specific um, form. And that's going to be a product of two numbers, a coefficient and 10 raised to some power. So I'm sure you have seen this format somewhere, like the number 2. All right, you want to have this integer right here between 1 and less than 10, and you want to make sure that you are going to have one digit there, and this as some integer. All right, so 2 is in between 1 and 10, so I don't have to move the decimal place anywhere. So it's just 2 to the power of 0. But the number 300, the decimal place originates here, and 300 is definitely bigger than 10. So I have to move this decimal place over 2 times. So I get 3 times 10 to the second, which that 2 times here gives me the second right there. If we have 4,321.768, all right, 4,000 is greater than 10. So I can move this 1, 2, 3 times, and I get 4.321768 times 10 to the third. That 3 times that I move the decimal place. Here I have negative 53,000. I'm going to move the decimal place 1, 2, 3, 4 times, so 10 to the negative fourth. And yes, you can have negative numbers in scientific notation. Oh boy, this gigantic number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so this is going to be 1,000, a million, a billion. Okay, so we're going to 6.792 times 10 to the negative ninth. If your number is going to be less than 10, like 0.2, you have to get it between 1 and 10. So that means we have to multiply this way. And we move it one time, so we say it's 10 to the negative first. All right, 987 goes the other way. We go 9.87 times 10 to the second. But with these other numbers, these decimals, when we move them, we're dividing by 10. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to the negative ninth numbers here. You can have really big numbers and really small numbers, and it takes out all of these zeros that we have here and counting and squinting for that. All right, so the rules, like we said, you have one non-zero digit um, to the left of the decimal place. So it's more than 1 but less than 10. So that's where we get this. And then you have the base 10 for how many times you move the decimal place to the left or to the right. And then you have an integer. Okay, and that integer right here, oops, that integer right here is going to either be positive or negative. All right, and it's going to be negative if your number is going to be less than 1, so that's going to be your decimal format, so if it's a number like this, and positive would be if your decimal place is afterwards, like that. All right, so on the calculator, we need to get very comfortable with it. And I recommend for class that you have a TI-30 or TI-30X. If you have a different calculator, there are different buttons for scientific notation. But on this one, it is the EE button, which is going to be right here above the 7, but you have to use your second button to activate the EE. All right, and then you have on other calculators EXP for the exponent. On some calculators you have times 10 to the button, but you don't want to type in times 1, 0, caret. You do not want to do that. All right, so I highly suggest you go get your calculators right now and you try it because there's a couple of creepy things about this, and I don't know why Texas Instruments does this. Even though this button here says EE, when you go to type it in the calculator and you type in 9.876 E5, all right, you would type in 0.876, you would type E5 because the E means the words times 10 to the, okay? So you don't have to write the 10. Only one E shows up, which is kind of crazy, all right? And so what this does is this moves your decimal point 5 times. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to here. And it fills in 2 zeros. So you get 987600, which is going to be 987,600. The same thing happens if you try to put it in scientific notation with a negative exponent. All right, 1.574 E again means 4 words times 10 to the. If you have to whisper to yourself, do that, and then you get 10 to the negative fifth. So what that does is it moves your decimal place 5 times to the left. It divides by 5 10 times, or by 10 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it fills in your zeros. So that's 0.00001,574. So please take out your calculators, try these out, push pause on the video, see if you do that. If you don't know how to do that, please send me an email so that we can help you out. Okay? Because you have to use the second button and you have to use the EE button. And there you go. There's scientific notation. In my notes and on my website, I also link the Colin Dodd scientific notation song. It's a really catchy way to remember numbers are really big and some numbers are really small. So definitely give that a look as well.